features tonight that YouTube has available to us. So if you would like a personal reading tonight, we have two options for that. We have tarot or charm readings. We aren't going to be doing mediumship in this one. We will do those separately. So if you guys would like to purchase a reading tonight, all you have to do is click the Linktree link in order to do that. If you guys want to be able to, there we go. If you guys want to be able to just get a couple of cards, just comment. And if you guys want to go live with me for your reading where we can chat instead of through the texting chat, you guys click the pinned link up here, the YouTube link, and you'll be able to join the live with me. So we're going to do some tarot readings for the collective. We're going to do some charm readings for the collective. And then anybody who joins us, it is set to subscribers only. So you guys feel free to pop on, say hi. And if you guys want a personal tonight, you are able to do that. So you can jump on with me. Now, we did this on TikTok a lot, especially if I was doing mediumship. So we could do like a little side-by-side video, and that's how this is supposed to work. Tonight's the first time that we're going to try it and use it. So I pinned the link so anybody that joins us can use it. So it's the, let's see, it'd be the very first one that's pinned, the pinned message up there. And I have my laptop out so I can see all of you guys' questions or whatever in the chat as long as I'm looking at it. So if I miss something, just give me a second and I will look over and I will double check. Hopefully this works out well. I had one person that we thought was going to be part of the podcast, and we're going to use this feature to record that. So that might be something that happens in the future as well. The podcast is always open to anybody that wants to join. Just shoot me an email. It's always listed in the description box of all of the videos that are posted on the channel. It's also in my link tree. It's also on the about page of the channel. So if you've never seen before, I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I am a psychic medium. We do paranormal stuff over here. We do a whole lot of stuff over here. So some of what we do is tarot. Some of what we do is a lot of other stuff. So I try to incorporate a bunch of different things into tarot readings. I have banked a lot of readings for the channel. So going forward, I have recorded up until October, there we go, October 31st, Halloween. Okay, so I have a ton of messages coming up for you guys for the channel. That frees up time for me to do personal readings. It frees up time for me to go do ghost hunting. It frees up time for me to do podcast stuff and, you know, live life a little bit. So there is a ton of readings that are set to play certain days at certain times for you guys, all the way up until the end of October, not August, October. So you guys are going to have a bunch of different stuff. I did a quarterly reading for the elements, so fire, water, air, and earth. So I want to say it's like the first part of October that will play. So you guys have a end of year spread, basically telling you what's going to happen in the last 3 months of the year. In December, I will post your year ahead prediction reading for each of the 12 zodiac signs. So we're going to start incorporating a bunch of different stuff over here in the weekly rotation. You guys love the daily card. I love the daily card too. So that one is going to stay in part of the rotation. Let's see. I'm enjoying doing the podcast, so we're going to keep doing podcast episodes as long as I feel like I really want to. I'm going to try and go live. I hate to make promises that I won't keep, so I'm going to try my best to go live at least a few times a month. Typically, it's going to be on a Saturday evening around this time. So if that works for you, great. There might be other times that I have available that I can jump on for a little bit and do some readings and stuff like that. And I'm going to really try to keep the chat where only our subscribers can actually comment. The reason for that is anybody can subscribe to the channel, so that's easy. It doesn't cost anything, but it keeps people who are just aimlessly scrolling through and come across it from talking crap in the chat. And so that's the reason why I do it that way. So anybody that wants to get a reading tonight, they are free if you want a couple of cards. If you want a full reading for tarot, it's $25. If you would like a personal charm reading, it is $10. You can pay for those through my Linktree. So it's one of the links that are up there. The pinned link is how you would join if you want to join me during the live, side by side in the screen. And I would love for somebody to do that tonight because I want to make sure that it works, and I want to use it going forward because I think it makes it a little bit more fun. You get to see both of us. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to be, but it does help me to move a little quicker if I can hear you. So doing mediumship readings in the future, I want to utilize that because I think that way people can hear your responses in real time. It validates what I'm doing. It tells people that I'm legitimate, things like that. So it does make a difference. So anybody that wants a reading tonight, comment, let me know. Okay, we're going to be doing general readings tonight. So anybody that wants a reading, free cards. We'll do 4 free cards for anybody that wants them. And if you want a full reading, it's $25. Full readings typically about 12 cards. If I need clarifiers, I pull clarifiers. We are going to do some charm casting tonight. So I got my big old bowl of charms here. I just pulled out our generic board so we can see kind of what area of life stuff is happening for you. And if anybody wants to do mediumship, you're going to have to email me to book that outside of the live because we're not doing mediumship tonight. There will be times in the future it will say mediumship. It'll usually tell you what we're doing, and we're going to chat. We're going to catch up because I feel like I haven't been on and I don't even know how long. It's been a hot minute. So some announcements for the channel. I left TikTok. I deleted it. I deleted all of my info that was on there. I posted messages that I was going to be leaving TikTok and solely focusing on my YouTube channel. And I think it's been 3 or 4 days since I deleted it. So completely gone. There is no more TikTok for me. It was a weird adjustment for the first like 24 hours because I wasted a ton of my time on that app for no real reason. It was like I built somewhat of a community over there. However, some people would only come to the lives and not engage with any of the videos, and other people, it was the opposite. They'd engage with all the videos and wouldn't come to the lives. So it was kind of hit or miss. Over here, I feel like everybody kind of engages with everything except for the post tab. So if there's announcements that I'm putting up, I'm going to put those there in the community section. I want to be able to communicate with you guys. And for me, sometimes it's easier to just post a quick little video. Other times I feel like the post tab is more helpful because I can just say exactly what I need to say and be done. And I post polls over here so you guys can vote on things. A lot of times I want your feedback to know, what are you really interested in watching over here? Because why waste time and energy if nobody watches it, right? That's just silly. So please check that out. You guys can leave me comments. You guys can actually, I think, make a post over here now on the tab, and then other people can, interact with it, things like that. You might be able to post pictures and things like that too. I can't remember. It's a pretty new feature that YouTube is rolling out. The other one is the hype button. So this one's relatively new. I've used it a few times over the last week. So if you are watching a video that you really like, in the comments portion, you slide the tab over, I want to say you slide it to the left and it'll say hype up this video, and it'll have points. So the more hype points that a video gets, the more pushing it out into like your For You page. And so that helps, especially small creators. It helps large ones too, but it helps everybody get their videos seen by more people. So if I'm posting content that you guys are really liking, use the hype button. Leave me comments, share it, all of those things, because what it does is it helps my channel get some traction so that we can grow. And I would love for our channels to grow. So I want this to be like a community. I want to get to know you guys, especially if you're regular watchers and subscribers to the content. Feel free to, you want to share a picture of, I don't know, your animals or something that you saw, or you see a beautiful sunrise or a sunset or something, share it. See, I would love to see what you guys are up to in your world. So, obviously follow the guidelines and all that stuff for YouTube, but if it's something that that you really want to share with the community of us, please do. I post stuff over there all the time. So the next thing is I created some merch, and part of that was just for the fun of it, just because I wanted to. So you guys will see me periodically wearing certain things. It's just starting to get cool here, so I'll be wearing my hoodie when we go ghost hunting and things like that. The one I got, and I don't get a discount on these, so I pay full price for everything, just like you guys will. So I ordered a hoodie for me because I've needed one for a while. So I ordered the Galaxy hoodie. I posted a video of that, I think it was a week or so ago. So it looks like a star exploding on the front and the back. It's got the same picture. So we have that one. We've got one that's got like a yellowish moon with a girl and butterflies are coming out of her chest. I think it's Rise, Evolve, Transform. So that one is up. Let's see. They're all live. So if you guys want to go check them out, click my Linktree link and the shop tab, and it's going to show you all of the goodies over there. You can book a reading with me through there. You can look at my 2 books to purchase if you want to purchase one of those. Let's see what else is on there. Payment tab for Cash App is on there if you were to book a reading. I no longer use PayPal. I got rid of PayPal. We've had a lot of changes in the last couple of weeks. So Zelle and Cash App are the only 2 payments that I take at this time. What else? Is there anything else? In October, I will be taking about a week off. That's why I recorded so much stuff for you guys ahead of time. Because I'm going to try and go ghost hunting in the next couple of weeks because it's spooky season and I'm stoked. Let's see what else. Just taking some downtime before the holidays because the holidays always drain me. So we're going to start to do some more lives over here for you guys. Mostly because I haven't been, and I was doing a lot more of them on TikTok. Now I don't have TikTok, so we're going to start to incorporate all of that stuff over here. So all of that being said, let's get into some readings. We are going to do personals. If you guys want a personal reading, no, you don't have to purchase one. Just know that what you're getting is just a smaller version. It's 4 cards for tarot and whatever I grab out for charms. Sometimes it's just a couple and sometimes it's a bunch. So I read the little charms, we throw them on the casting mat, and we see where they land. So those are what we're offering tonight. If you guys have any other questions about stuff on the channel or readings, anything like that, drop your comment, let me know. And if any of my brave souls want to join me during their reading, it only allows 1 person at a time to do that. So you got to click the pinned link, the YouTube link, and then it allows you to join. So first come, first serve. That's how it's going to go. Dang, that notification didn't work again. I wonder if you have it set to all or if it's only for like the videos when they pop up. Lives, I think you have to select all. There's like a couple of things on there. I would have to look at it to double check. But make sure that all of them are selected, not just the video portion. And if not, that might be a glitch with YouTube. So bummer. I'm wondering if you know what I've had to do before for live stuff when like me subscribing to other people's channels is I had to go and deselect all of them, so select none, and then reselect the option that I wanted, all typically, and see if that doesn't help. Sometimes there's like a glitch and you just have to reset it. So, you know, if that's what happened, hopefully it's a fixable thing. So you do have all of them. Okay, well, we're glad you're here. So you found us. That's why I try and post in advance if I can. I don't always do that, but I do try. I think I made a little video on Thursday or something letting you guys know I was going to go live. And then I also post stuff on the community page on the post section of the channel. So if you guys are ever curious what's going on, check those out because you might miss a video. That's why I put the posts up so that you guys can, scroll through there and see, oh, hey, she's got a live coming up. Oh, hey, she's got new merch for the channel. Oh, hey, she's doing this. I do that on purpose so you guys can scroll through and see what's going on. So if there's announcements for things, that's where it's typically going to be. I also try and post a video, but I know not everybody watches everything. So I try and post it in a few spots. So Gisela, do you want to be brave and do the live together and do a reading, or do you want to just do it through the chat? Either is fine. And you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to be. You just have to select, like, turn your camera portion off when it pops up, but just leave the mic on so I can hear you. And if you don't, that's okay too. We can just work through the chat. Doesn't matter either way, but they have it as an option, so I wanted to check it out and try it. I wanted to see how it worked, if it's, decent quality, or if it lags really bad or whatever. Because I want to start using it to record podcast stuff once I have people on there. Oh, not dressed. Okay, well then we definitely don't want that. We'll work through the chat. We don't need anyone getting a free show over here, do we? They don't pay us enough for that, right? Okay. Do you want to do cards or charms? Those are your options this evening. You always crack me up. You're so funny. We have tarot or charms. Cards. Okay, so let's get you some cards. Yeah, I'm sitting here with a heating pad on my back in my chair. I got my blanket on me because my legs are cold. So I hear you. I'm not really looking like, like I should be doing stuff anyway, but we're here because I promised I would be. All right, let's see what we got going on for Gisela. What is the energy for her? There's 1, 2. What is the energy? Oh, there's a flipper. I saw it. Where'd it go? There it is. Maybe if my hands will work. 3. Let's get one more. Outcome. What's the outcome of her reading? There we go. Okay. So first things first, you do have like a fork in the road or some sort of decision that's coming up for you. So kind of like you're going to be at some sort of crossroads in life. And this would indicate that we have to kind of think about it before we really jump into something. So almost like what's funny is they're showing me literally a fork in the road, like 2 paths. And so you go down this way, this could happen. You go down this way, this could happen. So they're telling me that you need to be really careful with what you choose or like how you choose it. You'll know what's right for you, but they want you to make sure that you think about it before you react or jump into something. That's important. There's also been a lot of delays. So your obstacle is the delays, right? I feel like you want to go in a new direction, but there's issues with getting there. And I can't remember when the Mercury in retrograde ends. I want to say we're still like a couple of weeks out before it's actually done. So I feel like they're giving me the word obstructions and delays. So we're going to have to either have some patience, which can be difficult, or, really like wait things out to get where you want to be. I do feel like you're losing some sleep over some of these issues, or a decision even potentially. So you could be having disrupted sleep. Your sleep pattern could be changing. I also feel like the 9 of Swords is sometimes nightmares or really vivid, disturbing dreams. And I've had those recently too. So could be some things going on there. Your outcome is the 5 of Pentacles. So I feel like all of the delays are going to be necessary for this to actually move forward. I do think you're going towards a period of recovery in your finances, as well as potentially like a health issue, injury, illness, or surgery. So unfortunately, a bit of a waiting game, but the weight is slowly starting to be removed so that you can overcome this hurdle. And it does look like you have some financial stability that's coming in for you, or a period of recovery. So really trust your instincts and intuition, whatever choices you're happening to need to make at this time, and know that the delays are an important part of this leg of your journey is how they're wording it to me. Compression socks. Oh, I need those. I definitely do. My feet swell so bad all the stinking time. So those are helpful. Whether you want to wear them or not, they're not always the most comfortable, but sometimes they really do help. All right. Anybody else that would like a reading, all you've got to do is comment. And if you want to go live with me, you can. You just click the pinned link there. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to be, but it would help me to hear your replies if you would like to. All of the above. Also put myself out there, dating site. Ooh, you'll have to let me know if anybody catches your eye there. That would be interesting. I do think that you probably have, like, you know, somebody coming in for you, but again, it's, are you ready? Are you putting yourself out there? Or are you a homebody like me that really doesn't leave the house very much? Because it makes it a little harder to meet people if you don't. But it'll happen at the right time. And what's funny is I keep getting out of the charms, I keep getting in all the messages that I recorded for everybody going forward. The dinosaur kept coming out, where it's almost like we feel that we're too old for love to find us, and that's not true. I've seen people get married in their 80s and 90s, you know, so sometimes it sucks that it takes that long to find your person, but you know, what do you have to lose at that point in life, right? You just go find it. Yeah, I'm a homebody too. I don't like socializing a whole lot anymore. Um, there's too much weird stuff going on out in the world. Like last night, my son got home from work and he told us that outside of his work, that at 3 a.m. apparently there was a shooting and people were injured and everything. And as they were pulling into work that morning, that there were still police cars and crime scene tape and you know, the little like yellow markers that they put for shell casings and stuff was still out there in the road. So that was a little unsettling. And they didn't have any real information, but thankfully at least his job made an announcement and said, yeah, there was stuff going on last night. So a little crazy. So always, you know, be cautious if you are out and about. Be careful, because the world has gotten pretty crazy here in the last few years. I think it's worse than it ever has been, but you know, par for the course, right? So anywho, we're going to do a collective reading real quick so you guys can see one of those. And then anybody that wants free cards or to purchase the reading, if you want to purchase one, use the Linktree link. If you want to do the live together, click the pinned link up at the top. And it is set to subscribers only, so it'll just be, you know, our usual people. Oh, what's going on? It says something is for review. Yeah, shooting and death here too. I absolutely am so tired of all of the negative stuff in the world. So like I don't really watch TV anymore for a reason. I quit several years ago. It just wasn't something that I wanted to do, especially the news. Like, I don't know. To me, I'm one of those people that if I have to see something, sometimes it sticks with me too much. And so I would rather just like read about it or something instead of having to visually see it, because the images tend to get stuck with me. And so just not fun that way. So I don't really watch TV. I watch a lot of like YouTube videos. Of course, I watched a ton of TikToks while I had TikTok and things like that. But I just don't anymore. I'm just one of those. Do I have Hallmark Channel? You know, we probably do. We've got Roku on the TV, so we probably do. I'd have to look for it. I used to watch that though, like TLC and Hallmark and all that stuff. I used to like some of those. I haven't watched in years. I find myself watching a lot of like crime documentary stuff or documentaries in general. I'm a big nerd. I love learning. So, there's lots of subjects and things that I'm curious about. So if I find something that piques my curiosity, I definitely go and, you know, spend some time watching something like that. Like how-to stuff or DIY stuff. I like to watch renovations or, you know, where somebody's like beautifying their space, things like that. There's another word, like interior decorating and design, things like that. Love watching things like that. Ghost hunting, love paranormal channels, things like that. but I like to have control over what I'm watching. And so to me, it's just easier to like search something up and select what I want to watch as opposed to hours and hours of just garbage. So not what I like. New show, Chicken Sisters is good here. It's on Sunday. I may have to check that one out. What is it about, Chicken Sisters? Are they chicken farmers? Because that's what I would think by the title, Chicken Sisters. I don't know. Sounds funny to me. What was another one that I was going to watch? Have you guys ever seen I think it's been out for a while. I think it's called Love at First Sight or Married at First Sight, something like that. We watched the one show and I can't think of what it was called. I think the original one was done in the UK somewhere, and they had all of these people and they went in these little pods for like dates basically, where they couldn't see each other, right? So they can hear each other, but they can't see each other. And so they spend however long they want to in there talking basically through a wall to the other person, getting to know them and things like that without ever getting to see them. So then if they decide they want to actually be with this person, then they get to be revealed to that person and see if there's still chemistry there or whatever. It was a strange show. I was like, you could not pay me to go do stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, no, that wouldn't work for me. I need to see you. I need to see your face. I need to know who the heck you are. So I'm probably one of those people that would not do well online dating. I mean, it's been a million years since I was single, but I don't know. Like, if I found myself in that situation today, I'd be like, I'm gonna have to meet somebody organically because there's no freaking way I'm putting myself out there online like that. Not gonna happen. Hallmark style family show and love. Okay, I will look that up. I'll see if I have Hallmark. I don't know why words are hard lately. Yes, I do. Retrograde. So Hallmark Channel, Chicken Sisters. Okay, I will remember that. Should we do some charm casting? I see that there's people watching. So if anybody wants to join, all you've got to do is put a comment in the chat. And if you want to be brave and be the first person to use the link to join this, it'll split the screen in half and we'll be doing a side by side. And you get to join the live that way. So you're welcome to do that if you want a reading, or you can just sit behind the screen and watch that way. Whatever works. It's fine either way. So we're going to pull some charms, and then we're going to pull some cards for the collective, all of you guys that are watching. So let's see. What is the energy for, where are we? What is today? Today's the 20th. So let's say from the 20th of September till the 20th of October. Let's do like the next month. What's the energy for the next month? Let's see. So I know you guys won't be able to see this. So I read them off to you guys, and we don't count anything that falls off. So we had the little tree of life that says life is the gift. I don't know how well these show up on you guys' side there. So we have a rocket ship. So some things are accelerating. We have a butterfly. So some transformative energy. We're in eclipse season. Tomorrow is the eclipse, if I'm not mistaken. Full moon eclipse in Virgo, and it's a solar eclipse, I think. I don't know where we're going to be able to see that necessarily globally, but you could look that up. And I don't know what time it happens tomorrow, whether it's early or later in the day, but you will start to feel that. So think of an eclipse as like a full moon on steroids, okay? And so eclipse season basically is about purging and resetting and kind of restructuring things so that we can start fresh in the last quarter of the year. And then the effects carry through for about 6 months to a year, sometimes longer. So kind of like a planning or setting stage. It would also be like a reset, and they're telling me like a factory reset. I can't remember. I want to say it was a Staples office supply commercial where they had like a big red reset button, or the easy button, I think they called it. And they're showing me like it's tapping that. So almost like things are about to get a whole lot better if you are in the purging and releasing, and that transforms into a reset or fresh starts, new beginnings. So positive changes to come. We also have a dinosaur. So what was I saying? That the dinosaur kept coming out. So I do think that there is going to be new beginnings coming, even for those of us that are more mature. I won't say older because we're mature. We've learned things, right? I'm in my mid 40s. I don't give a shit. I know there's younger people that watch, there's people my age that watch, there's people older than me that watch. So everybody is welcome here. And I never want to offend anybody by calling them old, but sometimes I call myself old. So it is what it is. All right. So let's see. So as I was saying about a reset, in reset, we also have the cross. So some of you might have found your faith again. Maybe some of you never really left it, or your spirituality, your belief system, I feel like could be getting a little bit of work or a reset. I think in light of, current events with watching people pass unexpectedly, I feel like that really kind of shook people a little bit and maybe caused them to seek creator, God, source, spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call the higher power. And so I feel like we are kind of going through this reset, right? What is the shift into 5D? Well, it's a global reset. It's turning things different for things to improve. What does that say? Yeah, tomorrow is a big day. Virgo exhausts me always cleaning with my witch's broom. Love that. I have Virgo placements too, so I totally get that. I've been like redecorating the office. Let's see if I can do this without making you dizzy. See my little ghost over there, and I have a bat up there. The little garland has little ghosts on it too. You guys will see it in the videos coming up. I have a little cauldron that smokes that comes out. It's just steam. A little crystal ball that I put up. I have a little table runner that's got spiders and spider webs on it. So the office is decorated. You'll start to see it in the videos and things like that going forward towards Halloween. I was gonna set it up to where I could flip the camera back and forth, and then I realized I didn't have my other tripod. So you guys are stuck seeing me during the live. So it is what it is. I feel like there's also some sort of reset coming for maybe exercise, the bicycle. They're showing me, I guess that would be like, what is that called? The Tour de France, that's a giant bicycle race, right? I see like a lot of people in spandex and helmets and bikes, and there's a lot of them. So maybe there's some sort of like biking competition that somebody is going to participate in, watch, be a spectator, something. Maybe you are just going to get outside a little bit more before the weather turns crummy, but there's something to do with a reset and exercise. Interesting. Okay, so in a fresh start, we have the giant eyeball. So I feel like maybe if I could hold it, there we go. I feel like there could be some maybe like new beauty routines. This makes me think of like big eyelashes or mascara, things like that. So maybe some beauty magic. That's funny. They give me a whole lot of stuff when I touch the charm, so I'm trying to like decipher everything. But I mostly feel like this is about being seen. And so maybe that's something that we struggle with. Like I'm super shy normally, so it's not normal for me to want to be, center of attention or anything. But I feel like we need to make a fresh start and get comfortable with being seen. So whatever that happens to entail for you. Maybe it's like your homebody and you're going to put yourself out there and go be active in your community, go do things, go meet people. Could be any number of things. Maybe you're just making a fresh start to get out and about. We also have the bee. So it could be a very busy season for somebody. You might be working a lot. Bees tend to be really active, really like working, all those things. Honey could also be important. So maybe you're going to somehow incorporate honey into something. That's interesting. But I feel like a busyness is what I'm picking up the most with that charm tonight. Interesting. Beauty magic sounds wonderful. So we could do a whole podcast on that, truthfully. Like there's a lot of information. So the premise behind beauty magic is that when you're putting your face on, right, you're enchanting each piece of that for some reason. So, like, let's say a lot of people that I knew for years wore like thick black eyeliner. Well, black is a color of protection. So let's say kind of like an evil eye charm where it deflects negative energy away from the wearer. So think of if you told your eyeliner that it was going to protect you from any sort of negative energy that was sent your way, right? Well, it's just part of your daily routine. You throw it on, but let's say that you have told it that that's what its job is that day, is to protect you. So you could do that with just about any item that you put on. You know, you could do it with jewelry, you could do it with your clothing, your makeup, your hair care, your perfume. I enchant my perfume to bring me money and love all the time. Every time I wear it, spray that bitch and we go, yep, yep, yep. Oh, money and love comes to me when I wear this stuff. Simple as that. Just talk to it. So anything liquid is going to hold a vibrational frequency for it. And so you can program it. That's like, have you seen videos about people talking about under like full moons, new moons, making moon water? Okay, so you put a vessel out with water in it under the moonlight, and it's basically soaking up all of that energy into that water. So then you can use that energy from the water, drink it. You can use it to cook with. You can use it in, you know, spell jars or whatever, water your plants with it, whatever. So, there's a lot of knowledge I have to share about things like that. If you guys are curious, maybe I'll do a podcast about some of those things. Oh, love that. Somebody said everyone hearts. Bless everyone. We love that. So, let's see. What else do we have on this board? We have some setbacks, and I have hiccups really bad, so apologies. This looks like a little screwdriver, and it looks like a little comb. Maybe it's a hairbrush and a comb. This is in setbacks. So I feel like we're working on some things that could be setbacks, and I feel like we have all of the tools we need to overcome whatever challenges we're facing. Some of it might be not as big of a deal as we think it is, but it might feel that way initially. But we have the tools we need in order to overcome the setbacks. In body, we have a lion. Interesting. Is somebody going to roar? Maybe. I don't know. Let me see what else I'm picking up with this. Leo season has already passed. There could be a Leo that's watching in the collective as well. King of the jungle. That's what's coming to mind. I feel like something is about to be loud within the body. That's interesting. They're not really giving me a lot more past that, but something could be loud within the body. I'm trying to think. I can't remember what area of the body Leo is associated with. All of the zodiacs have like a specific body part that they're associated with. Like Pisces, it's the feet, right? And they're the fishes, so they have fish tails. But I can't think of what. I want to say it's like the crown chakra, because the lions have like the giant mane of hair, typically the males do anyway. I'll have to look that up later, but I feel like there's something that's about to be loud within the body. So, you know, take good care of yourself. If there's something that feels a little off, go check that out. Make sure everything's good. All right. In spirit, we have the snake. So it is the year of the wood snake in Chinese astrology. So you might be shedding old versions of yourself, kind of like figuratively and literally. Like I just cut my hair the other day because I had had enough. It was like bushing out on the sides. I said, yeah, no, I'm done. It's time. So there could be some things within your appearance that are changing. Could also be that spirit's guiding you to let go of things that don't serve your highest good and to shed those. You could also be seeing a snake. See if there's anything else I'm picking up with this. Watch out for people who try and manipulate you in some way, shape, or form. So watch out for snakes, you know, negative people, negative energy. In ancestors, we have the little fairy. Love that. So I feel like maybe you are talking to angelic beings. Maybe you're talking to ancestors. Could also be that fairies are somehow significant. But I do feel like prayer is something that somebody's using to connect to ancestors at this time. Okay. In spirit guides, we have the sun. Love that. So, what was I just saying? That we're going to have a solar eclipse tomorrow in the sign of Virgo. So, remember that solar eclipses are dangerous to look at with your naked eye. So, they have special glasses that help shield your eyes. So, make sure if you're going to go look at that directly, please be careful. You can damage your eyes really bad. And I can't remember if it's a total solar eclipse or a partial. And I think it depends on where you're viewing it from, whether it's more or less. So if you get any cool pictures or whatever, let me know. You can always shoot me an email if you don't know how to work the post tabs, but that would be cool to see. Speaking of beauty, love your hair. Thank you so much. I've worn it different variations of this for years. I have it cut to where like I can faux hawk it, push it all kind of up in the middle. I have it to where I can slick it all back, part it off to either one of the sides. Like 3 or 4 different styles out of the same haircut. But I hate it when it gets over my ears to where all I'm doing is tucking it behind it. Drives me insane. So it was down to about here in the very front, and then the back wasn't catching up. So I was like, I'm over it. I don't care. I'm done. And then I saw your comment, don't cut the bangs. I didn't cut the bangs. I trimmed them just a little bit, but they're still bangs. They're still there. So we're good. But yeah, I think I'm to the point where as much as I think I want longer hair, I don't. I don't like long hair on me anymore. I've outgrown it. When I was a kid, I had really thick, long blonde hair down to my waist, and I hated it because I would get horrible migraines. The weight on my neck caused a lot of problems, and I would always bug my mom, can we please cut it shorter? I don't want it this long anymore. Oh, but it's so pretty, she would tell me. Oh, but you should leave it alone. Mom, I hate it. Please, can we cut it? So she'd let me cut a few inches off. So then it was maybe around the middle of my back. Still too long, still too hot, still had really bad headaches. So I'd bug her again, can we please cut it shorter? Why? You don't need to cut your hair. Mom, it's giving me headaches. Can we just cut it off? So then I had it about shoulder length or so for years and years and years. That was okay. It was tolerable. I mostly wore it up in a ponytail or a bun for years. That's like all I ever did. Swoop it up and leave it alone. And then I started having children and realized that it was a pain in the ass to have long hair and little kids. So I had chopped it off a few times, grown it back out, all those things. And then when I had divorced my ex-husband, I decided I was over it. I had gone through a total hysterectomy, so I was in menopause at 28 years old. And I hated being hot. I was having hot flashes like crazy. So that is when I chopped it off and I kept it pretty short for the most part. I had like some longer pieces in the front for a while, had like an A line, so it was shorter in the back, longer in the front. And then one day I was like, I want it gone. Like I need to feel air on my face and everything. So that's when I first started like cutting the ears off, cutting the back short. And it was nice and it was easy to deal with, and I wasn't hot and miserable. And if it's cold, I throw on a hat and I don't care. And then I've grown it out a few times in between, but it's just like my hair is super fine and really thin, and it doesn't really do anything. It sticks straight for the most part. So that means I have to actually try with it, and I have a bum shoulder and I can't anymore. Just blow drying my hair is a problem. And so it's like it's easier for me to just have short hair at this point. There's a lot of people in the peanut gallery that do not like me with short hair, and I don't give a fuck. Okay, I don't, because it's my hair, and so I'm going to do what I want to do with it. But I like it like this. It's tolerable to me. I even like it a little bit shorter than this, but since we're approaching fall and winter, I left it a little longer on top. But I do kind of like it when it's short and all I have to do is like, and it's done deal. My hair's done and I can leave. So we'll see. Maybe we'll grow it out a little bit. Maybe we won't, but for now, this is the way I'm dealing with it. So it is what it is. And I loved my mom. Like, she meant well and everything. She just wanted her daughters to look like beautiful little girls. And I get that. But I don't know. I just wasn't the daughter that wanted long hair. My sister, on the other hand, she had long hair for years. She loved her long hair. Just wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it. So cut it all off too many times, but it is what it is. All right. So let's see. So in work, we have another butterfly. So are you guys changing jobs? Is there something that's changing in your career itself? Like for me, something changed in the career path, right? So I left TikTok. So that was, I had like 6,300 some odd people over there on my channel. And I I probably knew maybe a dozen of them that like came and interacted on a regular basis out of like 6,000. So there's things that are changing in our work sector in the next month. So I feel like for some of you, you're going to be extra busy in work. We had the beat. So I feel like things are taking off. We have the rocket ship. I feel like things are growing in your career. Part of that I feel like is financially, right? So there could be pay raises, promotions, things like that going on. But I feel like positive changes and transformations in work. In learning lessons, we have the protractor and the triangle. So there could be, that's not funny, Spirit. They're telling me that there could be some math lessons. I suck at math. I've never been good at math my entire life. So hopefully it's not math lessons. Maybe somebody needs a tutor is what I'm picking up too. There's something about building that they're showing me. Like I can see hammers and nails, like a construction site. It looks like somebody's rolling out blueprints. So maybe there's something to do with architecture or building, construction, mathematics, something to do with learning lessons. Interesting. Okay. In transform, we have a little heart. So love may be transforming for you guys as well. Looks even better now that you messed with it. Love it. So I feel like love could be, you know what? Love could transform your world. That's what I'm picking up with this charm. So somebody could go from like habitually single to dating. Somebody could go from, dating to engaged, engaged to married. But I feel like there's evolution that's happening in love. That's interesting. So something's changing and transforming. Ooh, in End It, we have the infinity symbol with hope. So I feel like somebody is hopeful that an ending will bring forward a new beginning somewhere. That's interesting. Could be a twin flame connection because the infinity symbol would be symbolic for like intertwined souls. I do feel like someone's got hope that something will actually go forward after an ending. That's interesting. We also have a little flower. So maybe someone's going to bring you flowers. I brought my neighbor flowers because the poor thing was ill, had to go get some blood at the hospital the other day. So I had roses in my garden. So I clipped a whole bunch of them, made her a little bouquet, and I set it on her porch. And I guess she has one of those Ring cameras. So she must have seen me because I didn't knock or anything. I left it because I didn't want to bug her. And I told my boyfriend, I said, text your husband because I don't have his number and tell him that there's flowers over there. And she texted me, oh my gosh, thank you. I love them. I was like, you're welcome. I hope you like them. So flowers in bloom. I feel like somebody's about ready to bloom and grow, right? Bloom where they're planted, grow where they're planted. They're also telling me someone could be turning over a new leaf. Interesting. All right. In hardship, we have the letter W. So somebody could have the letter W in their name, might be experiencing some hardships. What do the kids call it? The big W is like a big win. So I feel like we're turning something that was negative into something that's positive. So that's a good thing. All right. In good luck, we have the letter Y. Are you questioning why you would be offered some good luck? Questions. I feel like just enjoy the good things. Don't question it so much. Don't ask so many questions. Just allow the universe to bless you. But somebody with the letter Y could have some good luck coming in. And our last charm is the lotus and organize. So a lotus, I love. They are symbolic for blooming in spite of your circumstances, right? They grow out of dark, murky water and they rise to the surface and they bloom on top in spite of it. Organize. So I almost get the sense that somebody really does need to like clear some space in their home, their office, their car, anywhere that happens to fall, and get organized. I'm seeing like folders with little tabs on them. I'm seeing like piles of papers and things that all of a sudden get into nice, neat little piles and compartments. Closets that look all cleaned out and organized. So if those things resonate, then this may be for you, that you're trying to figure out how to get organized. And I feel like you will. I feel like this is part of you turning over a new leaf. So that is a charm reading. So those are also available this evening if you guys would like one for personal. Let's get you some collective tarot messages. And if you guys have like special requests for stuff when we go live, let me know. Like you can always comment on, the post when I post it. Hey, can we do, specifically like love readings or twin flames? Can we do spiritual guidance? Can we do shadow work? Whatever. All the stuff's here in the office with me anyway. It's just behind me. There's all the tarot decks back there. So if you guys ever want, something real specific, if you want like one of the decks that I made, things like that, we can incorporate those into any of the readings. So you just have to let me know. And if you can't remember what it's called, give me kind of what you think it is, and I'm sure I can figure it out. So I think I have 9 or 10 different decks that I made besides all the tarot cards that I have. So I have a lot of different stuff. All right, what's going on from now until, let's say, the end of October for the collective? What's happening from now until the end of October? What is the energy for the collective? What's happening? What do they need to know? What's the energy? Ooh, someone's about to take some action, but I do feel like they're dealing with some clouded judgment. All right. So we could also be dealing with grief, loss, mourning, heartbreak, pain, separation, sadness, but we're about ready to overcome all of that. So I do think that Spirit's going to have all of us in the collective take action somewhere, right? So nights bring news. So I feel like there is some sort of news that almost kind of like lights a fire under your butt, so to speak, and gets you motivated to do something. Now, the something is also going to require that you make a decision, okay? And the question here is, what do you do? Because she's blindfolded. So she doesn't see the solution yet. She will, but she first has to remove the blindfold and she has to make a decision. She has all the information needed in order to do so if she removes the blindfold and is able to see things clearly. I do think some of you are overcoming something that was super painful. If you look closely, she's kind of screaming in pain there. She's also trying to stitch her heart back together. So this is either grief, loss, mourning, separation, or heartbreak. Okay. And, let's face it, the world's pretty awful sometimes. And so sometimes these things that we see or we interact with really leave a mark. So we need to focus the energy on healing from that so that we can grow and transform. I do think that we are about to enter a really big change somewhere. So travel, movement, relocation, traveling the world. They're telling, I love my spirit team. So they're telling me Mr. Worldwide, Mr. and Mrs. Worldwide, Pitbull references. Somebody might travel the world. Somebody might travel for like a concert or a show. That's interesting. The world is about overcoming challenges, right? Completing something. We're almost at the tail end of the year. So we're completing this leg of the journey, right, in 2025. And so it's like cycles are closing. Something's coming to completion so that we can start fresh someplace else. So I feel like there's lots of opportunities that are coming in for money or wealth. Job opportunities come to mind with this card, as well as movement, travel, relocation, moving to greener pastures. Some of you might get some sort of invite or job opportunity, collaboration, that has you traveling, but it's going to pay really well. So I do think that it would be something that would be worth investigating. Interesting. Hello, hello, welcome in. And we also have the King of Pentacles. So this offer or invitation could come from a wealthy business person. Could be an earth sign, but it doesn't have to be. This person is trustworthy. They're loyal. They're somebody who has like built a business, things like that. And so I feel like this person is really smart when it comes to business, but he also knows that slow and steady wins the race, right? And that's how he's going to actually be successful, is taking his time. And I feel like this person is somehow helping you. We also have the Hanged Man. So we have to see if there is something that's holding us back. It does look like heartbreak and pain could be keeping us from stepping out of a comfort zone and trying something new. We also want to be careful that we're not hoarding resources or being stingy with what we have, because it does look like there is more coming in. So share accordingly. Remember that Spirit is going to give you more if you aren't stingy. It does look like someone's walking away. It could be from a relationship, perhaps even a job, things like that. Especially if there's been collateral damage, it does look like things are starting to be let go of. And I do think that you absolutely need some time to rest and recover, right? So we go from the Three of Swords to the Four of Swords. So there's all this pain and heartbreak. So take some time for you. Make sure that you are actually resting and recharging. All right. So very important always that you trust your instincts and intuition. I feel like the Queen of Cups is seen as like a mother, but she's also somebody who's really tapped in. And I feel like if you're in your element, the doors are just going to start to open for you. So that might be something that you need to do. Meditate, ground, energetic cleansing, or, I don't know why I can't think of the word right now. A spiritual bath. There we go. Where it's like intentional, that you're like cleansing from head to toe. Maybe you exfoliate and you shave and you do all the things, right? You do an everything shower. And that's going to help you to kind of reset your energy. And we end with some new love coming in. So very emotionally fulfilling offer, it looks like, that's coming in. I do get the sense that for some of you, it's going to be business mixed with pleasure. So like you could meet somebody potentially through work avenues, but I do think someone's getting ready to take some action towards love, as well as some financial improvement. So that's interesting. So we'll have to wait and see what the next month or so brings us, but it does look pretty interesting. So hello, could I have a couple of cards? You absolutely can. So we have a feature available tonight, Kristen. If you want to use it, you do not have to. We can work through the chat, but it's called Go Live Together. So I posted it. It is pinned at the very top of the chat from me. So if you click it, it's the YouTube one. If you click that, it's going to split my screen and you'll be up there with me. You feel free to turn the camera off if you don't want to be on, but sometimes it's fun to just be able to talk to you guys. And this is a new feature that they're rolling out. So if you want to, great. And if you don't, that's all right too. So if you do, let me know. And we're going to play with it a little bit tonight. Do you want cards or do you want charms? Because I have both out. And thank you. I just chopped it off the other day. I needed to change. So sometimes we do that, right? We need a little change. I need a sip of water here. So anyways, Kristen, if you would like to do the go live, you can. It'll only let one person do it at a time. So once somebody's already in there, it's not going to let anyone else like pop them out or whatever. But short of that, it's open to whoever joins tonight. Otherwise, I think I would have to like email or text somebody a code. And I thought, well, let's try it this way and see if it works. And sure enough, it did. So I'm very excited. Hello, hello, Lucy. Love your readings and energy. Thanks so much. Glad you guys made it. So we are going to start doing lives over here. I deleted TikTok completely, like got rid of all my videos and all the stuff over there. I posted that I was leaving like for over a month. And so about 4 days or so ago, I decided, okay, today's the day. We're going to be just done with it. So if you guys want to be on the live with me tonight, like we did on TikTok lives for mediumship and stuff, click the pinned link there, and that will allow you to jump in. It only lets one person at a time in there, but it'll split the screen and they'll be able to see both of us. If you choose to be on camera, great. If not, we'll work through the chat. You don't have to be on camera. You can always, shut your camera portion off, just leave your audio on so we could hear you, but you don't have to get a reading. So Kristen, are we doing cards for you? And anybody, you can purchase a reading or you can get 4 free cards tonight or some charms. Totally your call. But if you guys want to purchase a longer reading, they're $25 for tarot and $10 for charms. And that's the price whether I'm live or not. Kristen's still in the room. I don't know if the chat's just slow or if it's me or what. And if she's not here, anybody else wanted cards or charms, let me know. So we're trying out some new features. So I don't know if you guys were here earlier or if you've seen, it's called the Hype It Up or something like that, hype a video. So in the comments part of the videos, it has like a point system. And so you can hype up, I think it's 3 videos a week and it resets on Mondays. So it's like the little crown things that you see. It's like a leaderboard or something. So your favorite creators, you can promote their stuff by giving them points. So the point system allows their video to be seen by more people. So if you guys find a video or whatever of mine and you want to help the channel, hype that up if you can, if you're able to. Like I did it not knowing how many times we could do it. So I already blew through all of my stuff in like one night because I didn't know. But I found some new music that I was listening to. It was like Dark Divine Masculine music or something. It was really different. It was a brand new channel. I've never really seen it before. And I thought, man, these are really good. It's all original music stuff. So I kept hitting the hype it up button. And then apparently you can only do it 3 times in a week. And so I couldn't do it anymore. So I was like, all right, well, that's cool. And so what it does is it helps promote that channel. So it's free. It's not like, on TikTok where you had to pay for all the roses and stuff that you would send all the gifts. It's free. It's a new feature. I think everybody has it, but I'm not positive on that. I can see it on my phone and I can't remember if it's on my laptop. I think it might only be on mobile. I'm not positive on that one either, but YouTube is really trying to compete with stuff. So they are incorporating a ton of new features to YouTube, which is really cool. So like the Go Live Together is one of the new features that's still in beta. So not everyone even has access to that. So we do. So that's really cool. So we're going to start using it in lives. And then the hype it up stuff, if you guys want to, hype up a video or whatever, get that kind of a little more traction. That's really cool. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff to anything that you feel is worth your time. I always appreciate it. I do want to grow the channel for 2 reasons. One, because my whole goal is to help people like spread awareness, spread knowledge, share awareness. There we go. 2 words there, girl. And my goal is always to give you like some insight or awareness about something that might be holding you back or keeping you stuck from the readings that I give. So whether that's a in-depth reading, whether that's something that you saw in a collective reading, whatever, I always want to share knowledge in hopes that it helps you to heal something that might be holding you back. So all of my readings, that is always the goal. And I've been putting it out there in the ethers for the last couple of years. I want Spirit to send my tribe, my people, my collective, my community, so that we can build each other up and we can all be successful in our own little world. So those are the goals going forward. Okay, so Kristen is here, had to skip to live. Okay. Do you think it's slow though? Okay, so it may just be how the settings are. I set it to like 1 minute before you can reply or whatever. That was the least amount of time that it had. It had like a 5-minute delay in there. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I can't do that, you know? So hopefully it's just that there's not anything else going on. So let's see what we've got for you, Miss Kristen. Ooh, okay. So you start with the Sun card. So this is typically seen as the happiest card in tarot. So it symbolizes things like a fresh start, a new beginning, marriage, children, the whole 9 yards. Something that is happy for you going forward. So if you're currently unattached, then I would say that this could potentially be bringing in a fresh start in love, a new beginning, or even potentially commitment. We also have the Queen of Wands. So I feel like you could have fire placements, Leo, Sag, or Aries, but I feel like more the Queen of Wands is somebody who's very sexy. She's very intelligent. She's somebody who's very dynamic. She's a doer, right? She's creative. She's outspoken. She's got a little pizzazz to her. So that might be you. You could also be working on your independence or your confidence, followed by the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, I typically say, is seen as the Ice Queen. And the reason that I feel like she's kind of got this cold exterior is because that queen has been hurt. And so she doesn't take any BS from anybody. And she, at a moment's notice, will cut people off with her swords, right? And if you look at this closely, she's got 2 swords, one in each hand. Okay, so she's really done with everybody's BS. And I feel like this queen just wants peace and happiness in her life, and she's not taking anything else but that, right? So it's almost as if you have to come correct or don't come at all because you're leaving without your head. And so she doesn't mince words. She's somebody who's very intellectual. She's somebody who can be very protective, but she can also come off as quite cold, not intending to, right? It's like the protective armor to protect her heart because she's been through it. She's been hurt. It does look like you have some improvements coming in your finances, or there is a period of recovery from injury, illness, or surgery. You could also be cutting somebody off and leaving them out in the cold, and they may finally start to realize that you have cut them off. So all in all, I feel like you have some new beginnings that are coming in. I feel like Spirit wants you to kind of explore some options if you're currently single. Let's say you're just kind of loosely dating somebody, it could go somewhere, but I feel like there's the potential to cut things off if it's not what you want. So decide what you want, because if it's not for you, it's not for you. I feel like new options will come in. You could be dealing with a Leo. Let's see, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, and air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or earth sign energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So those might be potential partners or placements in either of your charts. I do think that you have to make some decisions about the future coming up. And some of those could be that you're cutting things or people off. And I feel like you also need to find your independence and your confidence again. Like something may have knocked that a little bit. And so you may need to step back into the spotlight again and kind of put yourself back out there. Yeah, 5-minute delay is crazy. That's why I was like, I have to change that. That's too much. Good, because I think I'm getting a new job. So potentially, yes, you could. I would also be careful. Like the Queen of Swords, King of Swords energy could be like a boss or an authority figure. So if you change jobs and you have like a really cold boss, don't take it personal. They're just kind of like very stoic and all business. Could also be like a hidden aspect of you that like maybe you come off a little bit cold sometimes, but I feel like it's just a protection mechanism for you. He's an Aries. Oh, interesting. I have family that's an Aries. I also have friends that are Aries. They can be a lot of fun. I feel like you either love them or you hate them. There's not really a like gray area. So they definitely keep life a little bit exciting. All right. Any questions, Kristen? Kristen. I'll botch your name every time. That's just, I don't know why names are always a problem for me, even if they're an easy name. Makes sense. Okay. All right. Did anybody else want to get cards or charms this evening? Yes, my BFF is an Aries too. That's funny. They're a lot of fun. I don't know. I think they're fun anyway. Maybe some people don't, but I definitely do. You're welcome. Glad some of you guys showed up and came. I was like, I'm going to be pretty bored if nobody bothers to come to the live and it's just me talking to myself tonight. It happens sometimes. You're welcome. All right. Was there anyone else that's watching that wants to get free cards or charms? Or you can purchase the reading. Totally up to you. Would love some charms. Yes, ma'am. We absolutely can. So I just have my general life board out tonight. So I will read to you what pops out. And then I have this big old basket of charms. So let's see what's going on for Listies. What is happening from now until the end of October? There we go. Okay. So I don't count anything that falls off the board. Sometimes a lot, sometimes not a lot. So let's see. Got 1, 2, 3. We have like 7 or 8 that fell off the board. So I'm going to tell you what they are. Okay. So we have a sailboat fell off. So you could be thinking of traveling. I feel like you could live near water or want to go near water that's got like boats or a marina. We have a lotus, so I feel like water is significant too. You could also have water placements that are important. The lotus tells us that we're going to bloom in spite of our circumstances. So no matter where you came from, you're going to be successful regardless if you put in the work. Cats could also be significant too. You might have a cat. Maybe you're going to see a cat. We have a bicycle, so maybe you're going to go bike riding. And they're showing me, how do I describe that? It's not like an actual bike. It's like it's metal. I almost feel like it's where a bike rack would be. Like there's it looks like a yellow bicycle. Oh, it's so bizarre to me, but it's not an actual bike that you can ride. Not a statue, but it's like stationary. It just stays there and it looks bright yellow to me. I don't know why that would be significant, but maybe it is for some reason or another. We have a Navy wife charm. So you might know a Navy wife. Maybe you grew up. I was a Navy brat, so my mom would have been a Navy wife. We have a palm tree. So maybe there's something to do with like Florida or California that's significant, someplace with palm trees. We have a little fairy in the moon with a star. I do think that there is something to do with like wishing on shooting stars and things like that. I definitely do that too. Fairies, pixies, like Tinkerbell comes to mind. Those might be significant. We have a wheel, so like the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is synonymous with fate, okay? And so fate and destiny spinning good luck in your favor. This is also like a ship's wheel, so you could be going in a new direction. You could be traveling as well. Let's see, what is this? Ooh, the fire extinguisher. Don't be setting nothing on fire in your world, okay? But you might need a fire extinguisher for some reason or another. They're also telling me that it could be like a spicy new romance. They're giving me the word blaze. Interesting. So it could be a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry, igniting some sort of passion, igniting a flame. Interesting. Okay, so fire extinguisher, don't get burned. If you don't have a fire extinguisher, Spirit is telling me couldn't hurt to have one. So if you don't have one, maybe you get one. All right, in the middle of let go, we have the moon. So the moon in astrology is about our hidden self. So you could have aspects of yourself that are kind of hidden that maybe you need to tap into. And I feel like there's fears attached that you need to let go of. And Spirit says that may sound confusing. So there's something within you. I feel like it's a little bit of shadow work that might need to happen where there's things that you're releasing. We also are going to have an eclipse tomorrow in the sign of Virgo. And they're telling me that you need to let go of something during the eclipse. That's interesting. You could write it on a piece of paper and burn it in a safe manner. You know, maybe you need a fire extinguisher around, be careful. But I feel like there's something that you're going to release and let go of with the moon stuff going on. All right, in we have the butterfly. So change, transformation, all of those things, metamorphosis, right? That's what we're here to do. We're here to grow, we're here to learn, we're here to change. And so a butterfly is symbolic for major transformation. I get hiccups when I channel for confirmation. So you are going through some sort of metamorphosis, change, evolution, or transformation. Interesting. And you know, endings bring in new beginnings. So whatever is exiting your life is for a reason, so something new can take its place. So if there is a lot of things that need to exit your life at this time, allow those things to go. You have to know how to take them. Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. Doing a lot of shadow work, definitely manifesting love and travel. Okay, well, that's clearly in your spread, so I love that. All right. In spirit guides, we have a little flower. You may also like come across flowers. That's interesting. They're saying that you may need to like stop and smell the roses. I feel like you also need to kind of pause once in a while and just like enjoy, you know, just relax, enjoy, admire things that are beautiful in nature, things like that. That's what's coming to mind with this one. We also have, what is that? Oh, cute. A little Pegasus unicorn. So it's got little wings on it. I don't know how clear these are showing up for you guys. I'm trying. But it's a little unicorn with wings. So I feel like there are some magical things that are about to happen in your life. I feel like you really need to make sure that you are connected to spirit energy, right? Tap into your intuition, things like that. And I feel like as a result, things start to grow and take off for you. I love that. Okay, let's see. Caution to avoid it. We have handcuffs. So, avoid getting arrested. That's important, right? We don't want to go to jail for any reason. But I feel like you may also be avoiding commitment in some area of your life. So, I would ask you why if you're avoiding commitment. Like, let's say you're cool with casually dating people, but maybe you don't want to get married or something. The question is why? Does it feel like it's suffocating? Is it something that makes you feel stuck and trapped? So if that applies, then you have some shadow work in that area to do as well. But could also be, you know, a little 50 Shades Gray energy going on. And hey, I won't judge you. So handcuffs, caution to avoid it. Be careful with that. We also have the Iron Cross. So spirituality, religion, things like that. This one, for whatever reason, also makes me think of motorcycles, specifically like the chopper motorcycle. I think it has insignia of these on it somewhere. So maybe you're going to go for a ride. Could also be that you really just need to connect to your higher self at this time. Okay, in trust, we have the bullet. So you may need to like figuratively bite the bullet and trust that the universe always has your back. Because I feel like there's a part of you that is, they're saying nervous or shy to fully accept your path. That's strange. So they want you to like accept it. There's something to do with like just the trust fall with the universe. Just accept that this is where you're supposed to be. We also have the sun, so there's a new beginning that's coming. I do feel for you that it could be connected to tomorrow's solar eclipse. So the sun eclipsed, it's in the sign of Virgo, so wherever Virgo is in your chart will be the most affected. But there's, you know, the whole planet gets affected by these things, and typically it's for like 6 months to a year. So trust in new beginnings, trust in happiness, trust in the divine that they're bringing in the right things, people, situations at the right time for new beginnings to happen. In work, we do have a flower. So I feel like there could be some growth in your work sector. So whether that is advancements, promotions, pay raises, things like that, maybe you get some sort of recognition. There is some growth that's going on there in your work sector, so love that. In attract, ooh, not so great. In attract, we have a snake. Are you attracting snakes? Meaning, are you attracting people that aren't a vibrational or frequency match for you? Are you attracting people that are unhealed versions of themselves? I feel like you're about to go through a transformation, right? And so it's the year of the wood snake in Chinese astrology. So we're shedding the old version of ourselves. We're growing, we're elevating, we're ascending, all of that good stuff. So watch out that you're not attracting snakes. I feel like it could also be something that once you kind of process through some shadow work, you won't attract the same type of people anymore, right? Because energetically you've changed. And so people that maybe you would have attracted prior to that, they're just not a vibrational match anymore. Like your energy almost pushes them away because they just don't fit it anymore. In career change, you might be changing careers as well. We do have another little flower. So growth and change in your career sector. I definitely feel like for the better. So I don't know what you do for a living, but it does look like things are changing and growing. In home, let's see if I could pick this little guy up. He's tiny. Let's see, another flower. Love that. Really little charm here. So little sunflower, it looks like. So I feel like you're beautifying your home. You could be like redecorating, painting, accessorizing, right? Just creating creature comforts in the home. And we also have the roller skate. So fun, adventures, trying new things like that. When we were kids, we would go to a place called Skate City. It was an indoor skating rink, you know. And so I feel like you're going to be having fun or activities around home. Obviously, we're going into like winter and fall, so more people go indoors for those things depending on where you are in the world. But I do feel like fun and activities around home for you. In friends, you might have a sister or a friend that's like a sister. Come on, focus here, camera. Let's try that again. Maybe. It says sisters on there. Not that it's going to show you very clearly, but it says sister. So either you have a sister that's like your best friend or you have a best friend that's like a sister, however that happens to work for you. Maybe your friend is more like a sister than your sister is. I mean, I have ones like that. So I do feel like a very close bond with a sister or a friend. And in Old Flame, we do have the forever flower. So you may have an old flame that resurfaces. We are still in Mercury in retrograde. I can't remember exactly when this one ends. I'd have to look it up. You may have somebody that resurfaces that like wants to make a fresh start, or they feel like you were going to be their forever person. I feel like you may have outgrown this person. However, there's always a chance that you can reconcile should you want to. I'm personally a firm believer that once it's done, you should probably not go backwards. You should move forwards because typically it was a lesson if they're not still in your life. So totally your call on that, but you may have someone from the past that reaches out talking about forever with you. Interesting. All right. So those are all the charms that I have for your reading. Do you have any questions for me about that? And anybody who wants to book like a charm reading in the future, they're only $10. So even if you book one outside of a live, they're $10. Tarot readings are 25. Those are the prices. They're a flat rate for a reason. It just makes it easier on me. And then if we do mediumship outside of a live, it's $100. I don't want to do mediumship in a live unless that's the only thing we're doing in a live because it does take a while. So we will do mediumship only lives going forward, and I'm not going to charge the people that I read for during the live. Outside of a live, yes, because they do take some time. Okay. You are so welcome. Sent for a charm reading when you're ready. Oh, awesome. Did you do not PayPal? I don't have PayPal anymore. Cash App or Zelle is what I do have available. Let's see. I feel like my I feel like my laptop is lagging more than my phone. I have both of them running so that if I couldn't see the chat well enough up here that I could see it over here. So perfect. Okay. So let's see what we have for Miss Kristen. Cat that. Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate you. So once the channel is monetized, which God knows if that's ever going to actually happen, then I think you guys can do like super chats and things like that where you can just send money. I don't honestly know how that works. So maybe you guys know how that works, but I know you can have like your account linked to your bank or whatever. And then I think you can directly just send it during the live, things like that. Super chat, super stickers. We're not monetized yet. So I do have Cash App available or Zelle. It's my email. So either way that it works for you guys. So let's see what we have for Miss Kristen. Same time frame, Spirit, from now until the end of October. What's happening? Ooh, that's a lot. Okay. So we don't count anything that falls off. I will tell you what it is. I will show you. What do we have going on for Kristen? Okay, so we have quite a few that fell off for you too. Let me gather them all up. I moved my desk so I don't lose them anymore. They were flying off. I was like, that's not going to work long term. Okie dokie. So we've got about, oh, I don't know, 10 or so that fell off. So you might know somebody that loves baseball. So somebody might play baseball. Somebody might love watching baseball. Somebody might love baseball in your world. There's some changes and transformations happening in your world too. You might be a little bit of a lone wolf sometimes. Remember that wolves are not only loners, but they also run in packs. I feel like trustworthy, loyal, somebody who is dedicated. Interesting. That's an interesting word to give me. So I do feel like those are characteristics about you. I feel like there are times where you're a bit of a loner, like you don't mind your independence and being alone, but then you can also kind of assimilate into a pack or into a group collectively and work well with others. So that's a good thing to have both. I also have a dog that's part wolf and love him to pieces. Okay, so we've got a mushroom. So Spirit years ago gave me a little message about mushrooms. It was something to the effect of that mushrooms grow in dark places, right? And it was connected to Spirit will find you in your darkest moment. So mushrooms could be significant for growth. They could also be significant for things that we keep hidden in like dark places. So there might be some things that are kind of getting ironed out, fished out. Spirit's giving me all sorts of different words for that. Things coming to the surface for you to address if they aren't working for you. We have the letter O, so that could be a significant letter for you. Might be somebody's name. We have the brain, so lots of intelligence. I feel like the brain is always something that we want to protect and take care of. They're showing me a really weird scenario right now. They're showing me a baseball game and like a ball almost narrowly like missing somebody. So if you're attending a baseball game, keep your wits about you. Pay attention so nobody gets knocked upside the head. That might be important. All right. We also have the lion. So there could be a Leo in your life. Also very brave and courageous. To me, like the strength card in tarot is typically like the lion tamer and the lion, and so it's symbolic for finding courage and strength. So that might be something that you're also working through. Could be a commitment in your future. We have the ring, so it looks kind of like a wreath too. Maybe it's coming in around like the end of the year. We do have love always, so be kind to yourself and others. Practice love and gratitude. We have a dinosaur. You're never too old for these things to change. And we do have a sword. So truth, clarity being shed in a certain situation, maybe even cutting things away. We have the letter D, so D could be in somebody's name. All right. So on the board, we have quite a few charms as well. I also saw a mushroom growing in my front yard the other day. So Spirit will tend to like give you confirmation. That's why I like the charm readings too, is because sometimes the charms that I pull are like like an identifier or a something that like puts it all together, right? And kind of makes things click together, things that you see in your 3D world. So if that happens, that's added confirmation. So in Fresh Start, we have the notebook. Oh, I love that. So you might need to jot something down, okay? Maybe make some notes somewhere for a fresh start. I feel like goals, especially because tomorrow is the eclipse, so it's all about purging and releasing. Think of it like a full moon on steroids, right? It's all about letting go of things. It's they're telling me unwinding. How funny. So I feel like there is a fresh start coming, but you may need to write some things down. Maybe it's a bright idea, maybe it's creative things, maybe it's a to-do list. Whatever it is, write it down. I feel like that might be really important. We also have, let's see, a little poodle in Feeling Feelings. So maybe you're connecting to an animal, specifically, maybe it's a dog. Lots of love there, I feel like. I do think Spirit wants you to feel feelings, and I'm getting hiccupy energy for confirmation. There's something about maybe like shoving feelings down that we actually need to allow those to come up and feel them so that we can process through them, good or bad, whichever that happens to be. The person who is helping me get a job begins with D. Love that. Yes, have been journaling. Okay, that's important as well because I feel like journaling is such a huge help. Okay, let's see. In ancestors, we have a cat, so you could have a cat that's in spirit. Um, you could also have a cat that randomly like crosses your path in the next month or so. You know, especially as we go towards Halloween, I feel like we tend to see like black cats and things like that. Doesn't have to be a black cat. Actually, I see more of what looks like a gray cat. So there might be something to do with a gray cat that makes sense for you. Let's see. In spirit guides, we have the anchor. So you could have had a connection to Navy, boating, things like that, ships, but I feel more like this is offering you some sort of stability. So your spirit guides are like your guiding light, kind of like a compass in life. And so they should be kind of like your best friend, really and truthfully. You should be able to take any of your concerns to them and seek guidance, help, or stability. And so they're coming through with stability the strongest with that charm for you. So your spirit guides are offering you some stability. In trust, we have the tree, interesting. It's a little tree of life there. I feel like spirit is trying to tell you that there's something about family that you need to trust, and that's not something I would pick up with this normally. Maybe there's trust needing to be had within the family somewhere, but the tree of life is always synonymous for like the generations of your family. So like the roots, the leaves, the branches, all of that stuff. It's like it's the whole 9 yards. There's something to do with trust within the family tree. Maybe we can't trust people and maybe we can. Hopefully we can. But there's something going on there with trust within the family tree. Okay. In between ancestors and spiritual, we have the little protractor and the triangle. So, and you have two of these. How funny. I feel like you're really working on your spiritual path. And I feel like you could be doing shadow work, you could be doing like genealogy research, things like that. It's like you're trying to understand where you come from more is what I'm picking up. But you're doing the work to be successful for things to change if it's not working. And if it is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. There's something to do with building that I'm picking up with that too. So again, like construction, mathematics, architecture, all of those things might be part of your ancestral lineage in some way, shape, or form. All right, in between spirit guides, caution to avoid it, work and learning lessons. We have the alien in the spaceship. It says, I want to believe. So I feel like you want to believe in like your spirit guides. There's something to do with needing to put in work there and then avoiding things and learning lessons. You could be avoiding learning a lesson somewhere. ill-advised. They'll definitely make you learn it a harder way if we don't take the little nudges that they give us. So if there's a lesson that you need to learn, definitely try and like tune in and figure out what that is, because it's going to require some work and your spirit guides are trying to help you with whatever this actually is. Interesting. Okay. Love and romance. I feel like there's something that you're also working on, maybe trying to create, things like that. Um, this person could be an architect. This person could be a builder, working construction, a math teacher, anything that happens to resonate with that. Let's see. We also have a crab in work. You might have somebody that's a Cancer, maybe somebody that's a little crabby at work. Maybe it's you. You don't want to be at work sometimes. I hear you. But something to do with Cancer or a crab and work. Let's see. In friends, we have the train. You might be taking a trip to go see a friend. Maybe it's by train. Maybe it's something else. But arrivals, departures, movement. Somebody could work for the railroad. Let's see what else. Maybe somebody's taking a trip to see friends. All right. We have the fan. So either needing to cool off, fanning the flames somewhere, privacy. Could also be privacy as well. And that comes out with friends. So maybe we're trying to keep something from a friend. All right. So let's see. Practice makes perfect and attract. We have the hamster hand. So this is symbolic for being protected from negativity and evil from all angles and all elements. So this tells us that we, like the evil eye pendant, it's deflecting all of that negative stuff. So we're attracting positive. Anything that's negative, we are sending it back from where it came. In repel, we have Snoopy. So you might be repelling somebody that's trying to snoop on you, is what I'm picking up. Could be some spying energy coming in, snooping around. Interesting. They're also showing me the old Charlie Brown cartoons with Snoopy in it. They're telling me someone could be in the doghouse. For some reason, they're showing me like Snoopy laying on the doghouse like he would do in those cartoons. So someone could be in the doghouse. You could also be repelling somebody that has done something maybe that they shouldn't have. How funny. In family, we have the axe or the hatchet. So we could be cutting some things off that have to do with family, right? Not all family is healthy. Some of them are very toxic. And so we need to sometimes protect our own energy by putting up boundaries or cutting people off. So there could be some form of separation or ending that has to do with a family member that maybe isn't any good for you. And your final charm in family is the cross. So could be religious or spiritual, however you would like to take that. I tell people I'm more spiritual than religious at this point in my life, but I grew up in a Christian household. I even had a grandfather that was a minister. So I fully believe in God and Jesus. I know that they are very real, and that's where my gifts come from. So I feel like there is a connection spiritually or religiously in your family. That could be something that you are also either trying to maybe break away from and see what your own belief systems are at this time, because the axe was also there. But I feel like you may have cut off something to do with religion or spirituality. And I do feel like spirit wants you to get in touch with whatever feels comfortable to you, but making a connection is very, very important going forward. All right, that is what I have for your charm reading. Do you have any questions for me? Have been journaling. Sister has a mini poodle. I love that. How cute. Poodles are so stinking smart too. When I was a little girl growing up, our neighbors had a miniature, it was a teacup poodle. And it was like this big. It literally could sit in your hands. It was so tiny. And she was all white, and she had like they would always get her groomed where her tail looked like a Q-tip, where she just had the little ball of fur on the end of her tail. Hilarious. She was super cute though. Okay, you are so welcome. So if anybody else wants a charm reading or a tarot reading, speak now or forever hold your peace, because we've been live for a while. I'm so glad you guys came. I never know if anyone's going to show up. So we're going to start trying to do this on a somewhat regular basis. Saturday evenings about 7:30 Mountain Standard Time. So I don't know what time it is. It's 9 o'clock my time right now. Um, so whatever happens to be your time currently, go ahead and, if you can come to the lives, please do. I would love to interact with you guys. And they are going to be set to subscribers only for a reason. Because see how we didn't have any riffraff in the chat? Isn't that nice? Isn't that so great? So if it's set to only subscribers, people who aren't subscribed can't comment. And so that's what I want. And that way it's just us. It's just the people who genuinely want to be here, not people who are spamming the chat with garbage. So, what does it say? Are you ghost hunting on Halloween? So we will see. So what was it? Last year I got to do the guided tour like 2 or 3 days before Halloween of the Union Printers home here in Colorado Springs. And the main building is called the Castle. It's literally a castle on the hill. It's gorgeous. It's been there since like the 1860s-ish, around that time. And it's been a million different things. So that is up on the channel. The whole thing is up there if you guys want to go look at it. We did capture something. The whole investigation was like 2 hours and 48 minutes or something. We were there like 6 hours. So I condensed it into what I could. But we did capture an actual apparition. It is timestamped in the comments if you guys would like to see that. There is another one that I posted still shots of the capture, so you can see it kind of go from nothing to something to, oh my gosh, it's a head there. So if you guys are interested in that, that is on the channel. I have high hopes. High hopes. I don't want to jinx myself, but I have high hopes that there is a guided walking tour here in the Springs that I want to take. And I'd been waiting until the weather kind of changed, because it's like when it's 90 degrees at night, I don't want to go out and walk around. Like no, I don't want to. So now it's cooling off. It feels more like fall. There's chill in the air. I got my new hoodie to wear. So I'm gonna book one probably on, I don't know. It might be during the week that I book it, but it's like an hour, hour and a half long, and they take you through different buildings. One is like the old newspaper, the original building. The basement is said to be haunted. There's like a pub downtown that bottles fly off the wall randomly, crazy things. A hotel, there was like a few accounts of either suicides or murders that had happened there. It's rumored to be haunted. I want to say there's like 6 or 7 different locations that we walk to. And yes, we can take our meter, and even if they say no, you can't live stream or anything, I'm going to stick my phone in my little bag and hit record and mic it up and all that stuff and call it a day. So I'll have footage of that. But that one for sure, I'm going to try and book within the next week or so. Depends on their availability. And then I don't know for sure about Halloween like that day or whatever. But I will try. My goal is to try and get at least a few more over the next few weeks now that I got all caught up readings and things like that. I've got all the stuff posted up until Halloween, so I don't have to worry about filming any more stuff for a while. So yes, now I want to go. I'm probably going to go make a trip to the cemetery in the next few days, go see if I capture anything there. There is a new cemetery out here that I've never been to that I would like to go to. I got tires on my truck, so guess what? I can drive a little bit farther now. I'm contemplating going to, it's called Fort Logan National Cemetery it's more towards Denver. It's like about a 2-hour drive from where I live now. My grandparents are there, and I haven't been in a very long time. So that might be one that I go to because I haven't been in years. I'm trying to go to places that I haven't already gone to show you guys. So it's just dependent on do I have the money available, if they cost money to be able to go. So the first one that I want to do is local here in town. It's about $28 or $30, so that's reasonable. I can do that. That's easy. So that'll probably be the first one. And then I'm going to try and do as many as I possibly can leading up to Halloween, because it's my favorite season. I love spooky season, and I keep my spooky decorations up until I absolutely have to change them. because it's my favorite. So I'm hoping that I get to do, let's say, a minimum of like 5 between now and Halloween. So we'll see. So your girl's got to get her butt busy. I gotta start like getting all my gear together and get everything charged, and then just throw it in the car and go. Because if I don't, I'll put it off and be like, oh, well, I have other things to do, and I'm sick of doing the other things. I'm sick of doing laundry. I'm sick of cooking. I'm sick of all the extra stuff. My garden's done for the year, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. We mowed the yard and did yard work today, so it's like all that's done now. Now I can focus on the stuff I really want to do, which is like ghost hunting and doing lives with you guys and things like that. So fingers crossed, ma'am. We're gonna hope that we get to do a lot of those. So I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna try and shoot for like one thing a week that I go and try and do. And then I'll just upload them as I do them, like if I don't have cell service, because some of the places that I go, it's like really remote and there really isn't cell service there. So if I don't have cell service to do it as a live stream for you guys, I'll record it and then I upload it, whatever footage I happen to capture, whether I catch anything or not. Sometimes I don't think I caught anything and then I play it back and I'm like, oh, like there's really stuff in there. Holy shoot. So it's a fun surprise if I catch anything, and if not, it's just fun to get out of the house and go do things. So yes, that is my number one goal going forward for the next however many weeks. Let's see, 1, 2, like 6 weeks. The next 6 weeks. So that would be like, let's say I did one a week. That would be 6 new ghost hunting videos in the next 6 or so weeks. So hopefully that works out. I think as long as it's not snowing like, butthole deep or anything, we're good. And it hasn't yet. Like the high mountains got snow about a week or so ago, but I don't go up that high typically anyway. Oh, there is another one that I do want to go to that is up in the mountains. What is that? It's a cemetery in Cripple Creek. And so it's an old mining town, and it's got an old cemetery up there from, I want to say like the 1800s at some point. And so it was a gold mining town. It's got casinos up there and hotels and stuff now, but that's kind of all that's really up there. There's a few houses scattered around. Pretty this time of year, leaves changing and stuff, bright golds and oranges and stuff. So maybe I'll try and do that in the next couple of weeks too, and capture some of the aspens that are changing color for you guys, because they are really pretty. And go up and find that cemetery and go tool around up in Cripple Creek or whatever for a little bit. Woodland Park, Cripple Creek. There might be another one on the way up there. I just can't remember. I'll have to Google it and figure that out. But yes, it is a top priority to get some ghost hunting footage going sooner rather than later. So I'm thinking early this next week, I'll probably try and schedule one to go do some of that stuff. So hopefully we capture something, whether it's an EVP or, actual apparitions. That would be extra cool. So yes, that is a priority going forward. All right. Did we have any other questions? So podcast stuff. If you guys watch hiccups. Sorry. If you guys watch the podcast for the next few weeks, I'm going to throw in a couple of episodes in what I'm calling the folklore series. So we did one about, let's see, that one airs tomorrow, about, why did I want to call it goblins? Oh, my brain is just like, listen, lady. Gargoyles is going to be the one for tomorrow. We did one about the witch's hat. So if you guys watched that, it talks about why the witch's hat is so synonymous with witches, and where did that come from and all that stuff. So that was the first episode in that series. Tomorrow it's going to be about gargoyles, where they came from and why they exist and all that good stuff. I want to do one about vampires. I want to do one about werewolves. So we'll see. We'll see how much info I can find, and probably try and do a podcast on a few things. Cripple Creek, just the name says haunted. Oh, it's very haunted. So one of my stepdaughters used to work at one of the casinos up there like a couple of years ago. She was one of the dealers at like the blackjack tables or whatever. And so, of course, they're up all night long, right, at the casinos and things like that. So as they'd be going back to their hotel rooms, they would see things. She's flat out told me they saw like shadows, they saw things that just weren't there, heard weird noises, all sorts of stuff. So it had a lot of accidents, like mining accidents and things like that. um Shootouts, wild wild west type stuff from way back when. So it's absolutely got energy up there, and it's a strange little town. Every time we've gone up there, and I don't really gamble, but my boyfriend would love it if we could just go up there and gamble all the time. um I'm not a big fan of the energy up there sometimes. It feels really uncomfortable. The altitude sometimes makes me a little ill because it's at like 14,000 feet. So it's really up there in elevation. Where my current house is, we sit around like 6,000 some odd feet in elevation. So it's a drastic shift up. The air is a lot thinner, so it's harder to breathe. Some people get really bad altitude sickness when they go up. My ears sometimes really give me problems. So um, it's fine if like I'm driving and I can take my time. It's another thing if like you're rushing to get somewhere up there, because it can definitely affect you. So it's a neat place. It's definitely worth going up there and trying to ghost hunt a little bit. So it's not hard to get to. It's all like highway driving to get up there until you really get up in the mountains, and then you've got like short little turns and all that stuff. But as long as the roads aren't icy, I'm totally cool with going up there and ghost hunting and stuff. And I almost forgot about it until you asked about the ghost hunting. So thank you, because that made me remember there was something up there I wanted to actually go do. So there's a couple down here that, will be easy for me to get to. And then, like I said, the Fort Logan one is a little bit more of a drive, but still doable before we really get like crummy weather. So, next 6 weeks are like my window that I really want to get as many as I possibly can done. Um, and then, weather permitting, I continue doing it as long as it's not super yucky outside. Because A, I don't want all my equipment ruined in snow or rain or anything like that. And B, I don't like the cold, so I'm not going to be out there freezing for the ghosts. They can come see me a different way. So, but yes, definitely want to do some ghost hunting, and I'm hoping that we actually start capturing some cool stuff because it's just fun. I like to see when they actually appear or show up in some way, shape, or form. One of the last ones that I did, it's been a couple of months now. I actually felt one whisper in my ear. I couldn't understand what they were saying, but you know how like if someone comes up and whispers, you can feel like the heat from their breath in your ear? I felt that. And it was really like, I was like, what the heck just happened? Like I literally was looking around to see if there was another person standing there because I could feel it. And it's almost like if you held your hand in front of your mouth and you feel like the air moving, I could feel it on my ear. Wasn't anywhere else on my body, just my ear, like someone was trying to whisper something in my ear. So that was pretty cool. And then I got a lot of EMF on my meter. I found 3 headstones that had my last name, and nobody really has my last name. But the neighborhood that I live in, there's 2 other houses that on their mailbox have my last name. And I thought, I've never met anybody that has my last name unless I was related to them. So I set up my stuff and I was talking to the headstone, and there was 1 woman and 2 men, and they were somehow related because one of them said like husband, father, whatever. And so I started talking to the woman's headstone, just thinking, well, maybe she'll talk. Sometimes the guys don't want to talk to me, whatever. And she was lighting up my meter like crazy, all the way to red, over and over again. I'd ask her a question, boom, she'd ping it. I was like, heck yeah, man, she's ready to rock and roll. So I said, I have no idea if we're related. I don't think that we are, but how crazy would that be if we actually were somehow related? I'm pretty sure we're not. All of my family on my dad's side is mostly gone at this point, and only one of them ever lived in Colorado Springs, and he's still alive. He moved to Tennessee many, many years ago. So I don't think we're related, but it was still cool just to see that, and to get the interaction and all that. So you never know what's going to happen when you go ghost hunting. You could have nothing happen and it could be very uneventful, or you could have a lot of things happen and it could be really crazy. So somewhere in the middle is cool with me. Like, I don't ever go to a place where I feel like I'm really scared. Um, Most of the time, I'm not scared at all when I go do it. I just try and like pay attention to my surroundings. I typically try and go to places where there's not a lot of people around, A, because I don't want the interference in the footage, and B, because you never know, people are weird and they could try and harm you or something. So I just try and be respectful. I keep my distance. I go do my own thing, and we just hope that we capture ghosts and not people. So but that is the plan going forward. So I will try my best to start doing more lives over here on Saturday evenings for you guys. I can't promise it's going to be every single Saturday. Like, sometimes I want some time off and stuff too, but I will do my best to do them at least a few times a month going forward. And if it starts to be a real regular thing and people start really coming, that's even better, because then I get to meet more of you guys, and hopefully someone will want to do the live together with me, especially if we do mediumship. That would really be cool. Again, during a live, I'm not going to charge for mediumship stuff. For a personal one-on-one outside of a live, you're going to have to email me to book that, and those are $100. And then you get a copy of my notes, and you get a private video and all that stuff. And in the live, you would just have to watch it back on the repeat or whatever after the fact, but you'd still have a copy of it. So that's pretty helpful, I think. All right. Any other questions before we skedaddle out of here for the night? And thank you guys for hanging out with me for almost 2 full hours. That's awesome. So we will do more of these going forward, because that's been my goal for a while, and things have just been a little crazy in my world, but they're starting to calm down. So I have a little bit more time and energy available. So that is always helpful. All right. Doesn't look like anybody is popping up to say anything else. So check out the podcast. Let me know what you guys think about the gargoyles. That airs tomorrow at 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And then you guys have a ton of messages. Now, I'm behind the scenes in almost all of them. So apologies if you're going to miss my face for a little while. You will see me in a few of them here and there. You will see me obviously in the podcast episodes and during lives and things like that. But I took a little bit of a break from having to, put my face on and be all gussied up for the camera and all that stuff. So you will see me again in other stuff. You just might not see me in some of the footage that is already ready for you guys for the next little bit. So just know there was nothing crazy going on. I was just lazy. I just didn't want to be on camera, and that's all there was to it. Nothing else about it. Just I didn't want to be on camera. So that happens sometimes. Anywho, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you guys for participating. It's always good to see you guys. Look forward to seeing you run back to your truck. Sometimes that happens. There's been like one instance where I was a little sketched out at one of them, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, time to go. So I always trust my instincts and intuition, and I will absolutely book it if I feel like I'm not safe or I'm in danger in some way or shape or form. So you might see me, and I don't run very much, for fear of a black eye, but I don't really run. I'm not really afraid of like the ghosts and things like that. It's more the humans that are sketchy to me. The living ones, not the ones that aren't. But yeah, I've never had any of the ghosts like try and do anything crazy to me. So I'm not worried that the ghosts are going to do anything. Usually I go in respectful, and they are respectful too. It's like, we've all seen those ghost hunting shows where they antagonize the spirits and things like that. Of course they're going to mess with you. Like I would too. They were people once upon a time, right? I wouldn't tolerate that living. So I definitely wouldn't if someone was being disrespectful at my gravesite or anything. So I don't blame them. I'd be angry too if I was the spirit that somebody was messing with. So I found if you go and you're respectful and you just tell them who you are and what you're doing there, and they tend to not mess with you in a bad way. Sometimes they might be happy to have a visitor and they might want to communicate, and other times they don't. And it's okay. There's other people we can go bug. Ghost spirits, whatever, people, all that good stuff. So Fingers crossed we get to do one here in the next like couple of days. That would be fun because I'm jonesing. I need to go. Like I need to so bad. It's weird. What was it? Maybe 6 months or so ago. I don't know what it was. Like I was just having a really off day and I was like, I have to go to the cemetery. I don't know why. Go to the cemetery, but I need to go. So I did, and the second I got there, it was like all the stress left my body, and I was just like, okay, I'm good now. This is what I needed to do. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird, but but it needed to happen. So nice live format looks good. Okay, good. I'm on my phone on this that I'm live streaming on. I think the sound quality is a little bit better. My laptop, it does fine with a mic, but I don't always plug that in. And I didn't know if like you guys could see very well. So I was looking at it on my laptop to be able to see whether like it showed clear enough. There's always a glare on my glasses from the light when it's dark in here, but short of that, I think it was decent. Other than the charms, you know, they don't always show up so great either because they're little and they kind of get a glare on them from the light and stuff, but it is what it is. It's all right. All right. So thank you, my lovelies. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And fingers crossed we get to do some ghost hunting this week. I will upload the footage usually the next day or whatever. And I'll see you when I see you. Have a good weekend and be safe out there.